Memphis is the home of the blues, rock and roll, and Earle Farrell.
From the Collierville Square to the mighty Mississippi, the Earle Farrell for Memphis show is all about good things that happen across the Bluff City and the people who make Memphis cool.
The Earle Farrell for Memphis show is made possible by our title sponsor, Southern Security Federal Credit Union,
by Dive Shop and Dive Ventures nationwide, Jim Keras Chevrolet with George Gully, for Memphis Magazine, the Live at the Garden concert series, and the Orpheum Theater Group Memphis, and by Mitch Wright Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, family owned and operated for more than 40 years. And brought to you by HiLow Commercial Services, owned by the cleanest man in the world, and by Walker Auctions, LLC. When it's time to sell, Walker Auctions doesn't fiddle around. Thank you to all the sponsors for making this possible.
And now, coming to you from Lansky Brothers, Clothier to the King, inside the world-famous Peabody Hotel, with the heart of a cowboy and Memphis in his soul. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your host, Earle Farrell.
And thank you very much, and welcome into Lansky's in the world-famous Peabody Hotel. And my first guest today is also one of my sponsors, which we try to get you to know all of our sponsors because they're contributors to what makes Memphis great, and they love what we're doing and talking about what's great about Memphis. And Matt Dabney, the cleanest man in the world, and his business, HiLow Commercial Services. And congratulations, you got a new client, an emergency room in one of the big hospitals here in Memphis, which is huge.
Yeah, we're excited about it. That's a new opportunity for us and should open up some more doors in other hospitals.
Because hospitals are very discerning, and they have to be clean. One of the biggest things they face every single day is all the people that come in, and staff is one of the big infectious problems they face. And the only way you get rid of that is to kill it.
Yeah, if you go into any hospital or look on their what the patients say, they're all saying they're dirty, and you go look in the corners, and that's where most of the dirt is. So we're going to try to detail some of these things and make them look a lot better.
What do you think the biggest thing that people notice? I'm sure you do know because I'm sure they tell you, but when you say we're going to clean your business for you first so you'll see what we can do and see the difference, what is usually the response after they see the job you do versus what they've had done?
Well, they ask me how much it's going to cost, but if they're going to give me business that's reoccurring, that I'm cleaning every day, I'm going to bring a crew in there and clean it for free for them to get it up to par so we're not playing catch-up the whole time.
But don't try that if you're just wanting to do it once, because he did used to be a sumo wrestler.
That's right. That's right. We're not in business to lose money. That's for sure.
For people that don't know, you got into this because as a young father, you lost your wife, had a couple of small kids, and you work for a big corporation. And we all know corporations say they love you, but they really want you there 48 hours a day. And for as much as they can get you, and you just said, look, I got to take care of my family. That was your number one priority.
Well, I really wanted to take my kids to school and pick them up, and that just wasn't going to happen, so I had to do something different.
And what I love about what you did is you sit there and said, okay, you looked around and said, what's not being done as well as it could be done? And that was the cleaning industry.
Well, plus that usually doesn't go down. Even, COVID, everybody was laid off. We were out cleaning. I mean, that's just, it's an industry that doesn't go down.
I never went down. I mean, I never stopped going places. A few of the places that they said you can't come in if you don't have a mask. I can still remember standing 10 feet away from everybody and not, stay on the footprints and all that. But then later on they said that the mask really didn't work. But yet I'm seeing people again with masks on. But what is your position on the masks?
I don't like to wear one because with a beard, it looks a little funny with a beard hanging out the side of it. So I created a beard mask, and it worked out well. But I don't enjoy wearing them, and I don't think it does anything. Well,
the doc said it doesn't, but I think a lot of people do things because it makes them feel better, and so you got that. From one thing leads to another. You probably had a lot of businesses you started cleaning for that then recommended other friends and say you need to talk to these people, because I guess that's one of the things that you really don't notice until you see somebody come in and do it the way it should be done. And then you go, wow, I didn't know there could be that much of a difference.
Well, that's why we like getting into new industries, because once you got your foot in the door and people can say, hey, yeah, they did a great job for us. I mean, some places need 7 or 8 references, and we have them.
Well, and as you do more and more, you're not just here in Memphis, you're in Nashville. Tell them all the cities you're in now.
Well, so as far as monthly business, that's reoccurring that we can clean every day. That's Little Rock, Jackson, Memphis, and Nashville. But as far as our construction, our food plant cleaning, we can do that pretty much anything in the Southeastern Conference.
Which is a good way to. Everybody knows what the Southeastern Conference is. The businesses that normally used to take care of themselves, like warehouses, you'll go in and clean out, and somebody buys a warehouse or they've changed whatever they stored there. You go in to make sure there's nothing left of the product that was there before. I mean,
yeah. So we call that a decommission, or somebody moves out, like Amazon. They built all these warehouses and then they closed a bunch down. So we went in there and just cleaned them and got them ready for the next tenant.
And we're not talking like a 50,000 square foot building. We're talking 300,000 square feet.
Oh, that's a small one.
Oh,
Most
really?
of them were, they come in 250, 500, $1 million, and $2 million. So we've done up to $2 million. I've done some actually a little bit bigger than that, but they're rare.
What are some of the things you've learned through actually hands-on in this business that you didn't know before about deep cleaning?
Well, I just found out there's all kinds of things that can be cleaned. You take a warehouse, I can go up in the rafters 40 feet and clean out spider webs and things of that nature. A lot of companies have to do that. It's called 5S plus 1, and they have to keep a standard of cleanliness for the employees.
Do most companies have a style book that they supposedly go by and say, these are our specifications on how you clean on a regular basis?
Yeah, most of them do.
But do they follow it? Do you go in and find that they're not following it?
Oh, yeah. They don't even have a checkoff list. Like you can remember these 40 things every day? I don't think so.
No. The people you hire, are they young, old, or do you find people that work for you that are the best are all kinds of ages and come from all kinds of places?
All kinds of ages, all kinds of places. We do that from referrals, too. When they find out we're paying a little bit better than the competition, then they'll say, hey, it's a good place to work, and they bring people in. They bring me their good people.
Which is what you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, because you're only good as your weakest link in any business. And if one person on a crew is not doing their job, that hurts the company, that hurts the other people in that crew. So do you follow along and have people that go and check on each of these locations?
We do so many checks, it's ridiculous. So we have a lead on that goes out there, and then we have somebody that comes out there a couple times a week. That's all she does is check accounts. And then the salesperson has to go once or twice a week to check themselves. So, and then I pop in from time to time randomly. Well,
are they starting to recognize you around town from your commercials you're running?
Actually, we are getting people are seeing that commercial.
Well, you've got a new one out. We're going to debut it right now. This is another one of the cleanest man in the world. Let's take a look.
Hospitals ask him for advice. Janitors ask him for autographs. He once cleaned a mirror so well it became a window. He once cleaned a subway pole, and crime dropped 40%. He has never once read the instructions on a bottle of shampoo. The shampoo already knows what to do. Even bleach thinks he overdoes it a little. Soap companies use him as the control group. Even his shadow practices good hygiene. He once cleaned a public restroom. Now it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. His laundry detergent contains 0% chemicals, just a photo of him on the bottle. He once coughed in a hospital, and everyone got healthier. The CDC occasionally calls him for backup. The 5-second rule doesn't apply around him. He organized a junk drawer so well, it's now a museum. He is the cleanest man in the world.
I don't always drink, but when I do, even the ice cubes feel disinfected.
Another good. And it should be pointed out that the woman he was spraying with disinfectant was his ex-wife.
That's absolutely. She wanted to be in the video, so we got her in there.
Here's your starring role, darling. Just stand there. I'll do the rest. That's great. I love it. And you write these.
I write. The first one I wrote everything. This one I wrote most of it. I had to get them to give a couple of things.
But they also now know where you're going with this, and so they're creative. It's done in Mexico?
Yep, that's
Wow.
a company we found in Mexico that does it for us. Yep.
It's AI, most of it, and which I think is amazing. Is how creative can you be? And you just kind of took a premise and said, let's see what this turns out to be.
Well, I wanted to do it, but I couldn't find a company that had the quality I was looking for. And then I saw one of their videos on Facebook, and I was like, that's my guys.
See, that's the same thing that happens to you. It's a word of mouth, and somebody sees what you do. You saw what they did. When you called them up, did they go, how'd you hear about us, or how'd you see us?
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. And I saw your videos on Facebook, and I want one exactly like that. I want it set in the 70s. I want some 70s clothing, and we kind of went from there.
Because it was a takeoff of what Dos Equis ad.
The most interesting man in the world.
Yes, which I used to say that about myself, but then he came along and it pretty much blew me out of the map there. Do you want to say who it is, the company that does it?
It's Abandoned Films.
Abandoned Films?
Yeah.
Out of Mexico City? Or
Yeah, I believe they are.
Just Google them.
Yeah, just Google them. But you can find them on Facebook, Abandoned Films.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're outstanding, and the whole idea behind any kind of promotion is to do something that makes you stand out, and nobody's doing anything like what you're doing there or in the cleaning business. If when you first started out, did you have any idea what it ended up being where you are now?
I had a plan, a 5-year plan, and we're almost 10 years into it now. So we've added stuff. We add stuff every few years, a different area. You know, we started in flipping houses, and then we moved into cleaning monthly, and then we moved into construction, and now food plants. So,
well, and I think, you know, as times change, different things happen. I always say, look around for the opportunities that are being created because of what's going on now. And really, you kind of did that. People weren't cleaning during the COVID, and you sit there and said, you know what, we never stop, and you still need to clean. I mean, it's just as important during COVID, even though there weren't as many people going anywhere. But if you did go somewhere, you wanted the place clean.
Yeah, and a lot of people were charging a lot of money to clean the spray. Like they'd have a 1 million square foot warehouse, and what they were charging was ridiculous because you got $500 worth of chemical and then a little bit of labor, and you're charging hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I went to them and I said, look, we can do this for a lot less than that and still make good money.
Yeah. And the thing is, they don't know. If you don't know the cleaning business, you really don't know what it costs to do it. And you would go to them and say, this is what it's cost me. I do want to make a profit, but I'm going to charge you a fair profit.
Absolutely. We were less than half of most of our competition because
Wow.
they were just gouging people for sure.
Have you heard back from some of your competition about why don't you leave town?
No, but I've gotten a lot of business from that people have stuck with me.
Well, I think that's it. Keep telling people what you're doing, and because it really doesn't make any difference to people, because usually cleaning people come in at night or when you're closed, early or late, and so the people that run the business aren't there. They just come in the next day and they look around. But I've been to businesses where the trash cans are overflowing, the floor is dirty, the bathrooms are dirty, and you said, don't you have a cleaning service? And yeah, they didn't show up last night. Mm-hmm. But then that's unacceptable. I mean, because it's your customers are coming in there too, and that's not the face you want to put on your business.
No, if somebody has to be out sick, we have somebody in their place. I mean, that's just how it works. You got to get it cleaned. Look, they're going to notice it one time, especially the schools. If you don't clean one time, it'll be a hot mess for those kids.
Because kids are messy.
They can mess it up in about 2 hours or less. Yeah, I've seen them do it.
Even when you were telling me when you work out, the place you work out, 2 o'clock in the morning, teenagers will be in there messing the place up, and that won't get cleaned up until the next day or even later. Tell people how they can get in touch with you and get you to come out and talk to them about cleaning up their business.
Well, you can go to MrCleanTeam.com or HiLow, it's HiLow Commercial Services.com, or you can call me at 901-240-3427.
And I might add that you look great in your pink Lenskis jacket today. In fact, this is the first day, and over the year we've been here, we got Rob Schaefer to put on a Lenskis jacket. Look at any male model right there. And we're going to change his old dress thought.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, you look at the hat.
You got to blame that woman over there. We don't have
Beth.
her camera.
Yeah.
It's all her fault.
Well, she's happy about it, and I think you look great. So thank you, Lenskis. Everybody looks good. Thank you, Matt, and we'll see you next time. Looking forward to start running your new spot and getting everybody cranked up about cleaning up.
Good deal. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Up next, George Gully with the best Chevrolet dealership in town, but he doesn't sell Chevrolets. He sells Subarus, and Rob and Beth just bought one, and we're going to show you that and talk to him about electric cars and what else is happening in the car industry. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Dawn Grader, President and CEO of Southern Security Federal Credit Union at our new headquarters here in Collierville, Tennessee, off by Hillier Road. We are the proud presenting sponsor of the Earle Farrell For Memphis show and are looking forward to a great 2026 where some of the shows will be hosted from our new headquarters location here in Collierville.
Hello, Memphis Mid-South. And first, I'd like to thank you for visiting with Earle Farrell Memphis today. And we want to support him just like you do. I'm George Gully, one of the sales managers at Jim Keras Chevrolet. We've been in business here in Memphis for over 75 years. I've been associated with the company for almost 25. And I'll help you find the right car, truck, or SUV here at not only our Chevy store, but also Buick, GMC, Nissan, Subaru. We can help you find that right car. Keep watching, Earl, and come see me. Thanks so much.
Hi, I'm Mitch Wright. And I'm his son, Mickey. And we're the owners of Mitch Wright Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
And proud sponsors of the Earle Farrell for Memphis show.
We're thankful to be part of the Memphis community. We've been in business for 42 years, taking care of people and loving the people of the Mid-South.
Hi, this is Randy Wright from the Dive Shop and Dive Ventures in Memphis. We've been in Memphis over 64 years teaching people to dive, snorkel, and swim. We'd love to have you come join us and have some fun. We're also a part of the Dive Ventures Group with 18 locations across the country, stretched from Phoenix to Vienna, Virginia. Please give us a call. We'll be able to take care of you at 999 South Yates in Memphis, or call us at 901-763-DIVE.
Hi, I'm Brett Batterson, President and CEO of the Orpheum Theater Group in downtown Memphis. We are so pleased with our partnership with the Earle Farrell Show and very happy that he is broadcasting live from Lansky's at the historic Peabody Hotel. We're all here to make Memphis better.
He doesn't sweat. He exudes cleanliness. He doesn't wear a hard hat. He wears a HiLow helmet of hygiene. He doesn't just clean up the mess. He makes it ashamed of itself. He once found a Cheeto from 2003 and gave it a proper burial. His mop water is filtered through the tears of sloppy contractors. He uses Purell the way priests use holy water. His laundry detergent has PTSD. He's banned from construction sites for making everyone else look filthy. His laundry folds itself out of respect. He was voted most likely to disinfect in high school. He showers before, after, and during showers. Even Mr. Clean calls him Sir. He carries wet wipes holstered like pistols. When he sneezes, the room becomes 99.9% pure. He is the cleanest man in the world.
I don't always drink, but when I do, I disinfect the glass first. Stay spotless, my friends.
I'm Lance Walker, fast talker. This is Eric Walker, and we're auctioneers and realtors with Walker Auctions, based here in Memphis, Tennessee. We help people sell assets. We can sell your house. We can sell your land. We can sell the contents of your house. We can even sell things like your four-wheeler. We can sell your mule, your pickup. We could sell your trailer because we sell a lot of equipment. If you've got a business to liquidate, we can help you do that as well. Go to our website at walkerauctions.com, or if you want to, give us a call, 901-493-1936. And remember, when it's time to sell, Walker Auctions doesn't fiddle around.
All right.
Oh, my goodness.
George Gully has joined us from Jim Keras.
You got some great commercials going on.
Well, we're working on you. I think we can come up with something like Mr. Clean and have George doing the Superman thing.
I'm game.
Well, it is fun, and if you can't have fun doing stuff,
you're so right.
lot of things going on with you. You had, which I was very interested in because I'm going to have cataract surgery soon. You just had last Thursday.
I did, and you're seeing no glasses for the first time in I don't know how many years, Earl.
You said that you woke up the next day and looked and said, I can see.
I could, and colors were actually there I didn't realize
vivid.
existed. Yes, absolutely.
So good for that. And then you also helped Rob and Beth get their new car, and we're going to take you on a tour of that. This is their old car, which was a Honda.
Oh, you've got pictures of it. Thanks, Beth. You did take those. I saw it the other day. I didn't realize you were going to put me on the air with them, though.
And that's the new car that they bought from George at the Subaru dealership.
Sure.
Keras Subaru. And look how much larger. They kept saying, this car, they're getting ready to go on a trip to the Smoky Mountains. And they wanted a bigger car to take Beth's mom and dad. And so
the Schaefers are going in style, and then they're in the 21st century.
Yes. They look at Rob say that's what happens. You get a new car, now you want a nice looking
He's
jacket.
got new hat, new jacket, new car.
Yeah.
Can we stand the prosperity?
Look at this thing though. It's a beautiful car. It's very close
look
to
at that.
They love the color they're own.
But then we got to go back to this old guy right here.
Yeah, well, you were still wearing your glasses then.
Yeah, you see it. You see it.
But it is and they said it rides great. It everything about it is really cool.
Okay,
that's the wonderful area in the back for Pop and Nana because we're going to the Smokies.
Which usually,
and they've got all-wheel drive, even though the weather probably won't be that bad.
But next winter,
all Subarus have them. Yeah, you'll be ready to go in the fall or winter.
That just comes stock.
Absolutely, every Subaru has all-wheel drive, as my wife will tell you too, Beth.
And they said the thing they absolutely love is their new display screen on the dashboard.
Fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
And did you notice the difference in the drive and the handling, Rob, when you first got in there and started driving it?
Huge. Absolutely fabulous.
We want you guys to come with me back to the office tomorrow. We've got a day job for you, Earl.
Well, Beth, step out here, and because she's the one that actually, I thought it would be Rob driving because he's always telling us what to do here. And you got to get more in the shot than that. Man.
Whoa! Look at this. Now we're getting uptown.
There she is. She runs camera number 3, which is over here behind us. So, but couldn't be happier. And
well, I'm glad for them.
and
appreciative too in that regard.
Well, George always takes care of everybody, and that's what you do. That's why you've had so many customers, loyal customers, that keep coming back for you because you try to make it as painless as possible.
We want them to feel good about it.
It's not going to another one.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
There we go. Here we go.
Well, you can hear me, so it doesn't matter. Oh, we've got my newest.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. A 1949, Earl. That might even be older than both of us.
It is 1 year older than I am. I was born in 1950, and you were born a little bit
58.
After. Yeah.
So it had. I was a safe bet.
But this thing is in. I saw it in there, and I said, "What is that?" He said, "Well, we just bought that a while back because it's Chevrolet. You know,
it is. It's a Chevrolet 3000 from 1949, and it came from a client who is a friend of mine, like yourself, and he asked me if I would be interested in it. I said, well, sure we would. And we've reconditioned it, as you can see.
I mean, look at that. I mean, it never looked that good when it came off. Because back in those days, they didn't have leather seats.
No, they did.
It was cloth seats. But it still smells like an old 49 Ford.
And you can come see it, folks. All you got to do is come see me. We'll show it to you.
It's right there.
It's not really for sale. But you never know. You know, everything has a price.
But I would just love going in and looking at it. I love and kids especially should because it's got a stick shift in there.
Sure.
And it has a starter pedal. You didn't have
and you said that to me, and I had to think about it, but I've driven it, and you're exactly right. It does.
It was a big button on the floor next to the brake and the clutch. And then you had another button was the high-low beams.
Hey, they don't make them like that anymore.
No, and there's a reason. But look, is that not just gorgeous?
Yeah, yeah.
And look at all the chrome.
It's shiny.
Look at all that chrome.
I see it.
I mean, there's not a car made today that has that much chrome.
No.
Maybe a Harley or two, but not a car.
You're right on that Harley. I didn't think of that. I passed one on the side of the interstate. I was kind of hopeful that the guy would come back and pick it up.
Well, that's right there in the lobby alongside some other cars. This is one of their. It's a car you drive. As a matter of fact.
I was going to say, it looks like my interior. It's an EV Equinox from Chevrolet, and that's a 2026. I just drove one up here today.
And it's a totally electric car. Now this is the Corvette that's all electric. And you know what? We were looking at it. I shot this last week. The one behind it's gasoline, and in fact the other one's in the showroom. I think we got 5 in there. But when he told me it was all electric, because one of the things that people like about a Corvette is the sound that they make. But then I got to thinking about it. I took a trip with my son, who he begged me for glass packs on his pickup truck, so we got him. And if you're driving at 80 miles an hour across Kansas, you can't talk.
No, you can't.
And a Corvette, if you love the Corvette, and this is faster than any of the other Corvettes.
It is.
If you like speed and quiet, this is a car for you because you don't. It's like
a stealth bomber.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, like a military jet.
That's what it is. And to which you're mentioning the EVs, and thank you for all the plugs. The EVs now are trending towards the hybrid. That's what we're going to see over the next 2 or 3 years. We know that the rebates on the all electric vehicles are gone.
Yeah.
And so I have both upcoming Nissans, Subarus, and Chevrolets are going to be available in the hybrid within a year or less.
The advantage to those are the fact that they charge as you drive along. Sort of like
correct.
Your alternator charges your battery while you're driving along. Well, this car charges the car battery and the battery that drives your car. And everybody I know that has a hybrid absolutely love them because your gas bill really does disappear.
It holds steady. I have to use charging power, there is a cost, but it does help the environment great in great terms. However, the hybrid, as you mentioned, charges itself, and then you've got the gas if you want to head to the coast or what have you.
You don't have to worry about running out.
That's right.
But when you're with a hybrid, you're actually charging as you go along, and if you run out of power, which I don't know how you could if you're constantly driving and constantly charging.
Yeah, you're 100% correct.
A friend of mine was in town recently in his Tesla, which is a full electric car. And I took a drive with him because I'd never ridden in an electric car before. Mm-hmm. And so we've got a video here that kind of shows it, and we'll talk about all the similarities you have with your car, with the Tesla.
Sure.
And what the differences are. And, even Rob and Beth's new car has some similarities because it's happening with all modern cars. Take a look at this video.
Car can drive better than I can, and I generally, right now it's on slots, so it's going the speed limit. It just slowed down because we slightly went uphill, but it's basically not going to go over 70. But I can easily change it right here to chill or standard, and it'll start to go over the speed limit, and you can decide how fast over the speed limit you want to go, and you can put it on hurry, or you can put it on Mad Max. And at 70, if you put it on Mad Max, you'll probably end up going about 85. So, for the people out there that think that they're going to be governed to the point of not being able to speed, you're still controlling the car. And I find that on a long trip, I'll keep adjusting the speed, but I generally stay below standard, which is 5 miles over the speed limit, something like that. I'll stay on standard or slower.
Are you noticeably not anxious or tired at the end of the trip?
When you're driving, you're watching. You're not only tensely holding onto the steering wheel, but you're also looking. Oh, here's a truck coming up. I'm in his blind spot. I've got to watch this yellow line. I've got to watch the dotted line. I need to stay straight here. And then meanwhile, you're thinking, if I could drive another 10 miles an hour, I could get there in I could get there 30 minutes earlier. You've got all this going on. Everything's focused on it. All that's gone. I don't even, like I said, when I came to your house this morning and I came a different way, I'm not even sure what highway we drove on. I don't think I can find my way back.
You don't have to.
My car's going to drop me back. I don't even worry about it. And I don't have to make any of these calculations. I just have to sit here and watch out the window and make sure that the car doesn't do something wrong. But as far as being safe when you're driving, look, it's right down the center of the road. It can deal with anything, and it anticipates and reacts to things much, much faster than I do. It's just, I find it where I've gotten to the point that I just, for the most part, would rather the car drive me.
it is so quiet. There's no engine noise. There's some wind noise and
You're on
tire
top
noise.
of it, Earl. You got the production team going hard behind the scenes.
Well, I think people want to know, and if you don't know somebody with an electric car, like you took me a ride in yours.
Yeah.
And there are things you just don't realize. You stomped on the pedal, and I was amazed at how fast the speed. I mean, it's instantly.
It is,
and there really is no limit. It just keeps going faster.
It's like a rocket ship. I call it my golf cart on steroids.
Which it is. I mean it. And the thing about it is, when they first started coming out, and there was a lot of negativity about it because people said, well, I can't drive all the way to Destin without having to stop. All of that is getting better, and it will continue to get better. And there are still things like my kids are involved in the cattle and horse business, and they got to have big trucks that can still haul a trailer going uphill and get to where they need to be going. So that hasn't really been addressed. Although I understand the tractor-trailer rigs that are out there can go long distances.
They can.
And
you're dealing with battery power. The one that you just drove, the Tesla, has what we would call Super Cruise on the Chevrolet platform or the GM platforms. And that I've been in many vehicles with it. It is astounding as to what it can do. It will keep you, if you just say, let's head to Texas.
You go.
It will go all the way. And you put the parameters as far as speed and distance that you want.
I've talked to other people that have gone to other cities and gotten taxi rides in these different cars.
Waymos.
And you don't have to do anything. You get in the back seat, you're not even in the front seat. And I thought, will I be anxious or nervous? I wasn't in the least. I got in there, and I guess we deal with technology so much on the show.
Sure.
We're always looking at a better way of doing things, which is what this is. You're looking at a better way of doing things. So Chevrolet, that's one thing we wanted to talk about today. The future is electric in cars, maybe not ever total, although Tesla
it's
seems
approaching that. And the only restriction, your friend has a Tesla, which has the charging stations throughout the United States. The rest of the manufacturers are working in that direction. And so once that's done, it's wide open.
Well, a lot of people have not the superchargers, but the home chargers.
Yep.
Which you pay there like a couple of $1,000 to have them
it's
installed.
It's in the $1,300 to $1,400 range on average.
And what you're doing, because your wife still has a gas car, so you've got yours for running around town, doing all that kind of stuff. But if you're going to go to the coast, then you would take her
hers.
car.
You're exactly right.
Which is really no difference than having a four-wheel drive car like Beth and Rob just got.
Yeah.
And having a two-wheel car that when it's not snowing, we got this, and when it is, we go with that.
And here's one other point, and you're correct in everything you said. You're dealing with some costs. Like Beth and Rob, we let's just face facts. We're all on some type of budget, whatever it is, which is what I try to help people achieve. And we could have we didn't have the particular vehicle they wanted in the hybrid. The hybrid ultimately is going to be a little more expensive, as the electric cars are more expensive today. 5-10 years down the road, that's going to change. And so that's what we're looking for as far as the industry is concerned.
I did ask Jim, and you tell me if this is also true of your cars that you sell, the electric ones. The tires are bigger because of the weight of the car.
Yeah, I pointed that out to you.
And that they do burn up faster because of the friction and the weight.
You're absolutely correct on that. So we're dealing with, in my case, 21-inch tires, which normally a vehicle might have 18 and maybe 20s, because we have to carry the sheer weight of those batteries.
But the first thing I noticed in Jim's car, and in yours too, is the ride is so smooth, but that's because of the weight of the car.
Yeah, it is bigger.
And then when I got in there, it was really smooth because I weigh so much.
Well, don't worry about that, Earl. I'm not exactly lightweight, but it all works out.
If I can interrupt, gentlemen, this is very new for me to do this. Let's see. Okay, there was one other thing in the hybrid was you lose space.
Yeah.
So behind the trunk, I want a little bit of space under there back in the storage area. You open it up, it's like
I'm glad you pointed that out, because, again, we're dealing with the technological needs of the manufacturers.
Yep.
And there's give and take in a lot of these things.
Well, and you always give up something to get something.
Yeah,
so
sure.
You just
sure.
wonder what it is.
People understand that. And the one thing also, to everyone's point here, these things are going to evolve. The only problem I had over the last 4 or 5 years, and I'm not trying to get political, is that they threw this up on the American public without discussing what you and I are discussing, and just threw the money at the at both us and the governments and said, we've got to make these changes. And the American public just didn't grasp it at that time.
Well, you've been a salesman all your life. If there's one thing you know about Americans is they don't like to be told what to do.
No, we don't.
You sell them, but that's saying these are the advantages of buying this car.
Sure.
And you overcome objections with legitimate reasoning. But if you sit there, you need to buy this car, then they say, I'll talk to you later, George.
Yeah, really.
Because we just don't.
And see, the technology's evolved over the last 4, 5, 6 years, and it's going to continue to evolve with other things. I mean, so we're going to work it out as a country and an industry. And the general public just get in touch with me, and, we'll show it all to you.
Well, this is what I've always liked about you is you'll talk about what's going on in the industry, not just your brand of cars that you sell. I mean, the reason that Keras has the different brands they have is because those are the best cars that are out there.
Well, thank you for that. I've tried to maintain the same, I guess, in terms of my ability to represent our products. And Jim and Ben and Jay Keras have been in this business a long time, and we've now got 5 manufacturers. So, we've got a lot of things to offer.
Well, and but you also always shoot straight. Everything I've ever asked you never dodge a thing, and you always tell me, this is what I understand, this is what's happening.
We're going deep today, Earl. But thank you for the compliments.
Well, and you look good in your suit.
Yeah, I'm glad for the Lanskys to be here. I'm enjoying it today.
It's like I told Rob, you got a new car, now you got a Lansky's jacket. So who knows where this will all lead?
Oh, my goodness.
But tell me how to get in touch with you.
Well, thank you for having me today. And, folks, you can reach me at Jim Keras Chevrolet. We're on Covington Pike. You can ask for George, or you can call 901-491-8343. That's my cell. Happy to help you in any way possible.
All right. And love you. We're not wearing the glasses. You got
no glasses.
No glasses.
Today. But that may change, but who knows?
Well, you look good.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. That is our show for today. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Earle Farrell from Memphis Show.